I hate it when people lie to me. I even wrote a book, my 7th, titled Don't Lie to Me, out in September. The person who lies assumes you're too stupid to fathom the truth, so they just keep piling it on.
朋友们早上好，现在是10月3号美东时间11点。这是川普总统紧急住院的第2天，现在大批的记者围在医院的前面，然后等待记者招待会。按照今天早上的宣布，是这个时间记者招待会已经开始。今天早上，川普总统的医生发出了一个这样的好消息，他说他很高兴的报告，川普总统昨天睡得很好，状况不错。他给他服用的第1剂的瑞德西韦效果很好，同时还附加了 Zinc 是锌，还有 Vitamin D。Famotidine， 另外一个是 melatonin 可以助睡眠的，这个是很普通的 melatonin， 不是需要 prescription 的，在 counter 上面就可以买到。另外还有一个是 aspirin， 就是阿司匹林。这个是军医院里面总统套房，这是他的卧房，看起来不是非常大，不过还是蛮温馨的了。这个是一个客厅。总统可以在那边会见一些政要，或者呢在那边他可以办公。当我在剪辑视频的时候，总统的医疗团队已经走到外面，给记者发布一些讯息，然后也接受记者的问题。
His kidney function, his liver function, all of those are normal. And the president this morning is not on oxygen, not having difficulty breathing or walking around the White House medical unit upstairs.He's in exceptionally good spirits, and in fact, as we were completing our multidisciplinary rounds this morning, the quote he left us with was, "I feel like I could walk out of here today," and that was a very encouraging comment from the president. Moving forward, I'll go ahead and introduce Dr. Garibaldi, who will talk about some of our therapeutics and the plan of care for today. Thank you.Thank
you, Dr. Dooley, and I'd like to echo the sentiment from the entire team. What an honor and a privilege it is to be part of this multidisciplinary unit to care for the president. About 48 hours ago, the president received a special antibody therapy directed against the coronavirus, and we're working very closely with the company to monitor him in terms of that outcome. Yesterday evening, he received his first dose of IV remdesivir, and our plan is to continue a 5-day treatment course for remdesivir.And the big plan for today, since he's in such great spirits and doing well, is to encourage him to eat, to drink, to stay hydrated, to be up out of bed, and to be working and doing the things that he needs to do to get well. And I'll refer Dr. Conway to any questions.
Thanks, Brian. It's important to note the president's been fever-free for over 24 hours. We remain cautiously optimistic, but he's doing great.With that, one other note. It should be clear that he's got plenty of work to get done from the Chief of Staff, and he's doing it. With that, if there's a couple questions about the President's health in the last couple days.
Sir, could you tell us the President's oxygen saturation level, please?
Yeah, so the last saturation that we had up walking around, he was about 96%.
And he is receiving no, he has not received any supplemental oxygen?
He's not on oxygen right now, that's right.He
has not received any at all?
He's not needed any this morning today at all. That's right.
Do you have an estimated date when he might be discharged?
Well, I don't want to put a hard date on that. He's doing so well, but with a known course of the illness, days 7 to 10, we get really concerned about the inflammatory phase 2.Given that we provided some of these advanced therapies so early in the course, a little bit earlier than most of the patients we know and follow, it's hard to tell where he is on that course. And so every day we're evaluating, does he need to be here? What does he need? And where is he going?
What do you see as the probability that he will need supplemental oxygen going forward?
I don't want to put a percentage on that, but right now all indicators are that that he'll remain off of oxygen going forward.
And in terms of like blood clots, pneumonia, bacterial infection, what do you see as the risk on that front?
Well, we know that all of them are risks associated with this condition. He is receiving all of the standard of care and beyond per routine, international COVID protocols. So we're monitoring for all of that, but at the moment, there's no cause for concern.
You said he's fever-free now. What was his fever when he had one, sir?
I'd rather not give any specific numbers, but he did have a fever Thursday into Friday, and since Friday morning, he's had none.
Okay. And what was the date?
On top of the other antibodies.
I'm sorry?
Why remdesivir on top of the antibodies?
So remdesivir works a little bit differently than the antibodies. We're maximizing all aspects of his care, attacking this virus, a multi-pronged approach. As the president, I didn't want to hold anything back. If there was any possibility that it would add value to his care and expedite his return, I wanted to take it. And the team agreed, and that's why we proceeded.
Doctor, what was the date of the president's last negative test?
I'm not going to get into all the testing going back. But he and all the staff routinely are tested, and so.
Doctor, what is the PPE protocol for President Trump receiving visitors and doctors?
It's the same as any hospital has. We have everybody is fully gowned up, masked, gloves. We're protecting ourselves and him.
Have you done a screen? Has there been any sign of any lung damage whatsoever?
We are following all of that. We do daily ultrasounds. We do daily lab work. The team is tracking all of that.
Has there been any sign of damage, sir?
I'm not going to go into specifics on what the findings of any of that are.
If we just put you down on one thing, has he ever been on supplemental oxygen?
Right now, he is not on oxygen.
I know you keep saying right now, but should we read into the fact that he had been previously?
Yesterday and today, he was not on oxygen.
So he has not been on it during his COVID treatment?
He's not on oxygen right now.
Has hydroxychloroquine been considered as a viable treatment option for the president?
We discussed it. He asked about it. He's not on it now.
And in terms of symptoms, has he also experienced difficulty breathing?
No, he has not. Never did. He had a little cough. He had the fever. More than anything, he's felt run down.
Who is handling contact tracing? Is that the White House or CDC?
The White House Medical Unit, in conjunction with in collaboration with CDC and local state and health departments, are conducting all contact tracing per CDC guidelines.
When was the positive diagnosis made? You said 72 hours. That would put that Wednesday.
Yeah. So Thursday afternoon. Following the news of a close contact is when we repeated testing and given kind of clinical indications that a little bit more concern, and that's when late that night we got the PCR confirmation that he was.
Is there any clarity on how he became infected?
Not going to go into that. As far as his care, it's irrelevant.
Or when he became infected?
Yeah, we're not going to go into that. We're just tracking his clinical course and providing the best care we can.
Will President Trump have to stay at Walter Reed to get the 5-day remdesivir treatment?
We've discussed that right now. If he needs all 5 days, that will likely be the course. But again, every day we're reviewing with the team his needs for being here. And as soon as he gets to the point where it's not a requirement, he may still need some care, but if we can provide that downtown at the house, then we will transition at that point, as long as it's safe and appropriate and the team agrees.
In addition to his weight, does he have any other risk factors that make him more at risk for sort of a severe case?
Well, not particularly. I mean, he's 74, he's male, and he is slightly overweight. Other than that, he's very healthy. His cholesterol is great, his blood pressure is great, he's not on medication for that. He's up and active. You saw his activity, the days leading up to, the long hours and everything else. He's able to handle it.
Can you provide other vitals like heart rate, blood pressure, and temperature?
So his heart rate is in the 70s to 80s. His blood pressure has remained where it's historically been during our physicals. 110 to 120 systolic. He's great. It's never budged. I've had no concerns there.
So why was the decision made to transfer him here?
Because he's the President of the United States.
And obviously, if doctors...
Why wasn't the First Lady admitted as well?
The First Lady's doing great. Thanks for asking. She has no indication for hospitalization, advanced therapy. She's convalescing at home. Thank you.
I'm going to try to pin you down one more time. I know you said there was no Thursday, no Friday, no Saturday. That's fine.
So
that was why we were confused.
Thursday, no oxygen, none at this moment. Yeah, and yesterday with the team, while we were all here, he was not on oxygen.
So has the president actually been admitted as a patient to this hospital?
The president is a patient at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center.
Is he on any?
好，这就是川普总统医疗团队今天早上的记者发布会。我特意将全貌呈现，然后用翻译的方式给大家呈现出来，目的是让观众自己可以思考，同时如果你家里面有子女的话，也可以学习。因为一般的媒体他会剪到大概只剩下几秒钟，他只宣布一个结果。但事实上呢，这里面有非常多的 tricky 的地方。本来医生一出来，他是想宣布总统今天没有吸氧，但是在记者的群追猛打之下，然后他又宣布星期五没有吸氧，那最后说连星期四也没有吸氧。一个比较重要的澄清是，川普总统完全没有出现过呼吸急促、呼吸困难的状态。当然，对于总统，第一天就进来用魏德西蕊很尖锐。在川普总统今天早上他自己发出 Twitter 和大家报好消息的时候，下面有很多人也是非常的不满意，因为既然你说他是作为这个医院的普通病人来 admitted 就说来住院的，但实际上呢是要完成5天的魏德西蕊的治疗，果然是在推下面有很多人就这个展开了攻击，说今天一共有98000名美国人得了新冠，只有一个人得到了最特殊的救命的治疗，这个是难以避免的。但是医生也讲出来，因为他是美国总统，所以需要住院，所以需要提供最好的治疗，然后他不想有任何的 risk 或者有任何风险。总之今天是比较好的正面的消息。谢谢大家昨天的祷告，很多人的关心。可以确定第一夫人是轻微症状，目前她家里人都很平安，没有确诊病例。记者所有关于追踪和总统密切接触的人员，这个追踪的工作由谁来做？医生只是讲了白宫的医疗团队会和地方来尽最大努力找到这些密切接触的人。那么肯定很多人也产生了一个疑问，就是到底是谁传染给了川普总统和夫人？昨天的视频里面特别发布了这个很短的一段视频，那这个视频里面你可以看到川普总统的前资深顾问，那么 Conway 他是来参加了大法官的提名活动。Conway 昨天已经确诊，他和 Barr司法部长 Barr 有非常近距离的接触，他们在耳朵边悄悄的讲话。现在我们不清楚司法部长他的检查结果。同时大家看一下那个会场，这个是那天活动，人坐得非常的密集，然后不戴口罩的非常多。那在这些参加活动的人当中呢，已经有6个人确诊，主要的是几位参议员，犹他州的参议员 Mike Lee，有另外一个共和党的主席Ronald 他也是确诊的，还有一位昨天我们讲过的圣母大学的校长，然后还有其中有一位记者。所以那天是谁把这个病毒然后带进了白宫，这个是现在白宫要特别追踪的。这也是再次的给大家一个提醒，现在还不是 party， 还不是很多人能够在一起聚会的时候，如果其中有一个人是病毒携带者，会传染给很多人。如果是有呼吸道感染，有 asthma 气喘病，或者有其他糖尿病的，那他们的情况就会变得很严重，不是每个人都像美国总统一样有机会在刚得病的时候就可以用到魏德西蕊的。